Bloody Mary Podcast.
Welcome to the Bloody Mary Podcast, where we talk about all things horror while drinking a Bloody Mary. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tami, and we are totally married.
And with us tonight to rank the Final Destination films is a rad special guest. He's an international award-winning, world-renowned tattooer and owner of Spokane Super Tattoo here in Spokane and Downers Grove Tattoo Company in Chicago. He's also acted in a few things that could have been some of my stuff and maybe a few other things as well. Fellow VHS collector, horror fiend, and Christina Aguilera lover.
Yeah.
I'd like to welcome Jeremy Youngman to the show.
Hello, thank you all for having me, and this is going to be super fun because we all usually don't agree with what we like.
That's
so,
true.
This is going to be super fun and great. However, again, to Tami, she got the final girl right of Stretch and Texas Chainsaw 2. So, anything, we don't know. We're going to find out.
I know, it could be a toss-up.
This will be awesome.
Yes.
All right,
Shoot him a
Jeremy.
question.
So the first question that we all ask all
Yes.
guests of this podcast is, what is your favorite horror movie?
I would say, I don't know if it classifies as a complete horror, but I saw it when I was young, and it stuck with me, and I still love it to this day. So I would have to say Poltergeist.
Poltergeist,
Ooh.
yeah, no, that counts.
I haven't seen that forever.
Yeah, that sticks with you for sure.
It holds up. I feel,
Especially when
too.
you're a kid,
Yeah.
too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you remember who directed that one?
Well, that's a debate. It's either Tobe
no.
Hooper or Steven Spielberg.
Well, Tobe Hooper's name is on it, so how can you argue, right? Yeah, Mr. Texas Chainsaw. So come on, it's a
That's
good one to
true.
pick.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is a good
no,
one to
that's a
pick.
great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was scary, especially like the clown with the kid. That was terrifying.
What about the face coming?
Oh,
off?
the
And it's rated PG.
Yeah, the peeling. Oh, I
Right?
didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
remember?
Yeah, that's
Maggots
crazy.
on the chicken.
And then the lake of bodies at the end. Ooh,
Yeah.
oh, that was crazy. And her outfit, smoking hot at the
Oh,
end.
yes. It is. Who doesn't love an oversized shirt, right?
Cool. So let's just lead into it. Let's start ranking the Final Destination films.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah. So Jeremy, you said that these are like one of your favorite horror franchises.
I think it's probably the best horror franchise ever because its continuity is good and it's not a hulking guy stalking you. This is death. You can't escape death. And
That's
that
true.
is scary up a storm to me. So
Yeah.
this is, I think, one of the best franchises with no very bad lapses or dull air. There's some dull air. Well, we'll get to it. But it's, I would say, my favorite horror
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's dive in. Starting with our least favorite. Jeremy, would you like to do the honors of going first? What's
Sure.
your least favorite Final Destination flick?
Least favorite would have to be number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, the
Wow.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's right. And that one is just, if we want to get technical, it's not even part of the real Final Destination universe because it's at McKinley High. And it takes place at McKinley High, where Final Destination is Mount Abraham. So, and also, Mount Abraham is in New York, where McKinley is in Pennsylvania. Woo! Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't get
not.
that deep.
So-
You're like a detective
This is
sleuth up in this
awesome.
bitch.
That's right. So it's not, for me, it's not even necessarily that true of a Final Destination. So for me, it's the worst. It's got for me, the worst intro opening scene of everyone dying. It's, it's cool, but it's not as cool as the other ones. The deaths that are involved are good, but you know what? Their CGI is probably the worst out of the entire franchise
Yeah.
to me.
Oh, you think
And
so?
I do, yes, 100%. I think definitely 4 had better than that, and 3 is just bottom
Oh,
of
this
the
is
barrel
going to be
for
so
me.
interesting.
You know, the best part of 3 is Mary Elizabeth, whatever her
Winston.
name is. Yes,
Yeah.
because she can scream really well.
She's
liked
a
that.
good screamer. She's a good actress. She's one of my favorite actresses of her generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, number 3 is just down there, but it does have some good points, like the McKinley guy, Ian McKinley. Him and his girlfriend, they call themselves Zip and Pip, which
Yeah.
are 2 characters from a Todd Browning movie called Freaks. So, see, Browning, Alex Browning. So there's just everything is everywhere in this. I mean, it's great.
That's crazy.
I
So
love
even
the
though I don't like it,
detective
it's
work
great.
here. This is great.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of the photo aspect of that film?
Oh, where they see the vision through
Yeah.
photos instead of visions or whatnot?
Yeah.
It's interesting and it's new because it was the first time that they did it. And if you notice, did they ever do it again?
No.
I guess it wasn't that great. Was it? I mean, if they only did it one time. But that's another key thing of Final Destination is they rarely do something twice. And if they do, they usually skip a movie or two before they do that. So I thought it was neat because it's refreshing to see it different. And when they see the pictures, they don't know what's happening, so they have to figure it out. And it's never what they think. So you know what?
True.
Yeah, that's a cool aspect of it. Yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't cool enough to be in every movie.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true. Yeah. All right. What's your least favorite?
Let's go with you first.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay. My least favorite is Final Destination 4.
Really?
AKA The Final Destination. AKA Final Destination 3D. Make up your mind. Pick a fucking title.
I agree with that. I hate that.
yeah.
It doesn't look like it's part 3, it's part 4. So yeah.
And I think this is the worst CGI. I think it's because of the 3D element, because if you're watching it non-3D, when you get the CGI, it looks weird. And I'm not a huge fan of race cars as a sport. So like just that premise I didn't enjoy. I think it's the worst looking one. And the digital, was this the one that had the digital death edits in the credit sequences where you would see like the X-ray skulls being crushed, or was that 5? Or did they do it in both?
In 4 and 5, in the beginning of 4, they show how people died in the other movies.
Yeah.
And then in 5, at the very end, they show everybody, the
Right.
whole franchise.
Yeah, and then this one, let's see, it was a guy who got the visions, right? It was a male.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they alternate that with a few of them. Like there's male and then there's female ones. That's like neither here nor there. I think this is the same director as. See, I wrote the directors down. David R. Ellis also directed 2. He directed Final Destination 2.
That's right.
So he's done 2 of them.
Alright.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say. This one was just boring to me. I didn't like the set pieces. I didn't like that a lot of it takes place in this goofy coffee shop, right?
What's the name of the coffee shop?
It was connected. There's a connection. I remember.
I don't know.
What was the name of it?
Death by Caffeine.
Death by Caffeine. And they also have some branding too. They have a beer, right?
Yes.
A beer that's in like,
Heiss.
Heiss?
H-I-C-E. Heiss Ale.
So there's some fun little Easter eggs that are put throughout all of these. But I think that like a high point in this might be the racist guy death was funny. I remember that.
Oh yeah, getting dragged around.
No, he didn't.
I thought it was the worst. I thought, you know what? I think that was one of the worst ones in that one. And I got to say, in this one, in part 4, they had to bring in racism. Why did they even? Why did they even have to bring that in? And other than you know the white supremacist man, the black guy, there was also the old guy. Remember his bathtub was overflowing in part 4?
Okay.
And he said, I killed tons of you in World War. And he's like, I'm not Chinese, I'm something else. So it's like, wow. So they had 2 racism aspects, which they never needed.
Right, it didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, good point. Like that didn't need to be in there. So
he was drinking Heiss Ale though when he was driving the tow truck. So yeah.
So yeah, the 4 is my least favorite. What's your least favorite one?
My least favorite is number 3.
Look at that.
Boring as fuck.
Look at that.
It is
boring.
Yeah.
I was so bored. Oh, so I like write notes, right? And the only notes for 3 was like really small. I wrote like 3. These are my notes from 3. Frankie Cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
His lines. See those fun bags? And then I dare you to flash those sweet, sweet titties. That's and
great lines.
And tanning bed death was very popular that year because it was done in a couple of different movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I wrote.
I'm not saying.
I was bored.
That was a great scene. The tanning bed. That was cool.
It was cool, but it was still, the movie was fucking boring. It was boring.
All right.
It was boring to me, so
Draw
that's why
up
it's my
the
mind.
divorce papers.
What? Okay, so I picked Jason Goes to Hell as my favorite, and I still don't get divorced over that, but... How dare you, sir?
All right, well, yeah.
Okay.
God dang.
What's your next one?
Okay, let's see.
Your
Oh,
fourth.
one thing about the tanning bed one.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that one at all because they made that happen to themselves.
That's true. They're idiots.
That one death helped, but they made it happen to themselves. And
Yeah.
the reason why I don't like 3 as much, I think, is because the whole reason the roller coaster ruins is because of Frankie and his camera. The hydraulic fluid was leaking, but because of his camera being there, that's what messed up everything.
Yeah.
Damn
So,
Frankie cheeks.
because of that kid, and they're still in high school, so because of that pedophile, it made it horrible. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So, geez. Okay. So yeah, we
boring.
just had to touch on that real quick, though.
I'm glad we did.
Yeah, we have to. Oh, and in number 3, McKinley, Ian McKinley, he has that thing splat on him, which,
Yeah.
didn't they just do that in part 2?
Right.
And didn't they do it much better in part 2?
Yes.
What a waste. All right. So, oh, and also in number 3, the big guy lifting the weights, the big
Yeah,
black
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
Oh.
his name is Luis Romero. For George A. Romero.
Yeah.
And they had Zip and Pip from Freaks, so, okay.
Yeah.
So, there's always names of big
Yeah,
things in
they
Hollywood.
do like to mess
Yeah.
little Easter eggs with names.
I love
and-
it.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so then the next least
Yeah.
good. There we go with 4.
Okay.
There we go with 4.
Okay. So
That-
I feel a little better that you feel like it's one of the not the best ones.
okay, like the race. No, the guy who works as a mechanic. When he goes through that freaking fencing, that is horrible CGI. It's horrible, but
Yeah.
I still think it had better elements throughout it than 3 did. And it started off with the race people screwing up. It's not like
Yeah.
someone in the group did it. And 4 is the next one, and they may be my least favorite cast, I think. But they're still not the worst for me. But I didn't like them as a cast. I didn't care for many of them.
I'll
at
agree
all.
with that's the least favorite cast.
Yeah.
for sure. And he was my least favorite of the people who got visions for
Really?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But the one saving grace about 4.
Yeah. So why do you like it more?
Yeah,
then?
why do you
why
like it
do I like it more than 3?
Yeah.
Because the main guy had 2 visions. He had it in the beginning with the
Oh,
race
you're
course,
right.
and then later on, he had another vision
That's right.
of the
It was like-
escalator and everything. And that's the only time they ever had 2 visions
Double
in
visions.
the movie.
It was. I think I put like Inception.
Yeah.
Vision Inception.
Uh-huh.
The whole race car thing just brought it down for me from the beginning.
Didn't need it.
Yeah,
Didn't need
I
it at
don't
all,
Yeah.
But because of that, and when we were going to do this, I watched it, and then
Yeah.
I rewatched it, and the second time I watched it, I forgot
Yeah.
that he had that second vision that
Yeah.
actually didn't happen. I'm like, oh my God, they fooled me, so that's why it has to be number 4 for me instead of the very bottom. Just because they got me.
Yeah. They got
Yep, They did.
All right, what's yours?
Oh, it's me. I'm
Yep,
next.
You're next.
you. My next number 4 is Final Destination 5, the last one we got.
All right.
Still kind of the same. I felt like by the end of this, I was bored. And this is maybe just having an a-thon going, and it just felt like kind of a retread until you get to the reveal. The first time you watch it, the reveal is fun.
It is fun.
The reveal is fun, but then when
It's the most
you know
beautiful thing
it's
ever.
coming, it's still a drab movie.
It's still awesome.
The retreat is stupid. I didn't like the going on a company retreat, right?
No? People do that. Just because you and I don't do
They
it doesn't mean that
it,
other
but
people
I didn't
don't.
want to watch it. It was boring. It was like The Office going on yeah. One thing I liked about it, and I think would have been a good and still would be a good Final Destination film, is at the end of 5, one of the guys becomes a killer or tries to become a killer to
Kill or be killed.
yeah and
To circumvent
Which they did
the
in
loop.
part 5.
yeah. So that was cool. I like that, and I think that whole premise would be a fun whole movie where a killer's out there killing people from the beginning to try and avoid death. That would be a cool premise. But this movie still sucks. Why I like it better is because there's no race cars.
Race cars or race cars.
Race car tracks.
Okay.
Let's see what else do I have. Okay, the gymnasium death. The gymnast death was rad. That was really cool.
That was probably my favorite death. of
That
it is.
It does have. That's a fun death they have in
Uh-huh.
there. But I think just by the end of it, I was getting bored. I was bored.
Wow.
Yeah. I know you're having a hard time with this one.
He was like, I just.
Well, yeah, I'll get to my part where it has so much more better kills.
And for me, it's like the same formula, and the only thing that was different was it's the prequel,
Right.
right?
Which was shocking.
Yeah.
Same formula. That was the first time anyone ever tried to kill someone to get out of
That's
death.
just not,
What do you mean
not the
same
same
formula?
formula. God.
Yeah, okay.
That was the first time, kind of like how they had the first time visions for part 3. Each movie has a first time something.
Okay, was this
Never
one,
gets stale.
Okay, did Tony Todd, was this the one where he had a lot more screen time?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that about it. I did like that about it too.
I kind of that one kind of makes you think: is Tony Todd death?
He probably cheated death or something, right?
This is,
You know, like
Okay,
that
well,
one.
I want to talk about this at the end.
Okay.
We're gonna come. Let's swing back around
Okay,
to this Tony
pause
Todd circle.
and circle back
Okay,
to
pause,
it.
circle back,
'Kay.
and you.
Oh, and me. Okay, my turn.
What's yours?
Number 5.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
look at that.
Yeah. High five. Yeah. We're no divorce papers.
So, I also found that it was a little bit boring for me as well.
Yeah.
However, like the work bonding retreat team building sounds awful and it sounds like torture in just itself.
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
been to those; they're just not fun.
Well, you want people to die in it too, so maybe.
Right, and it pushes it over because it's a bridge over fucking water. And if I'm not mistaken, the state of Washington. Yes.
Oh, is it? This
I'm asking
part
you.
5?
Yes.
That's New York.
Oh, okay. So
Upstate New York, right?
I don't
Yeah.
like when I was a child. I used to have recurring dreams all the time that I was on a bridge over water,
Ooh.
and I had
Yeah.
to. And one side was oil, and one side was water, and it was breaking down. And my little brother would end up in the oil, and I'd have to jump in and save him.
I don't think I've ever heard you say this. This is cool. I like this.
So
That's
driving
terrifying.
over bridges over water,
Mhm.
it's hard.
I knew you didn't like that, but I didn't know the oil thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that one bumped it up because I was like, fucking bridges
Yeah.
over water. God damn it. I did like the twist at the end because I hadn't seen that one. That's the
Oh.
only one I hadn't
So
seen.
this is the first time you've seen it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
tied it back around. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I like that it was
And
the
they,
beginning.
I think they had body doubles. They didn't use the same footage. They used body doubles and shot from the back.
I don't know about that one, really, because
Yeah.
they look real to me.
Maybe
it's
like
deep fake.
Yeah, I would have to.
I
like,
bet.
go-
I don't know.
Yeah, I have to go back and look. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
But that was cool. Yeah.
The gymnast one kill that
Mm.
was great, I have to say. And so I will say when I watched this I had a little F&D thing, so my notes I couldn't read them.
Yeah.
So the only ones that I could read was I think it was the main character or his friend. It was like Tom Cruise banged some rando and didn't take responsibility for it.
Oh, what he looks like.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
So was this it was a guy who had premonitions in this one too?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
yeah, dude.
Okay.
And then I put Olivia Velma because she dropped her glasses and then she was like, I
Yep.
can't see. She pulled a Velma. And that was really the notes that I could discern from
That's
what
awesome.
I'd wrote.
All right. Well, let's jump into the 3.
All right.
So now getting into 3, do you consider like this on up good ones, or
yes.
is it two
from this
up?
on out, this is only what there is.
Okay.
This is only what
All
there
right.
is because 3 and 4, like I said, they don't belong necessarily. And once we'll get to that whole point, and Olivia, she killed herself because she accidentally squeezed that toy and then slipped on the
Yeah.
eye and fell out. And you know what? They did get you. You thought that she was going to die in that room. You didn't think she was going to fall out of the room, right?
Right.
So come
Agreed.
on, guys. It's not that bad. 5 was not that bad. And also when that one guy he almost dies, but he doesn't, and then he falls down and his head splashes on the cement.
That was
Yes.
cool.
That was
Yeah.
cool
That
up a
was-
storm. 5 had some good kills.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here we are. Yeah, the third best one, number 5.
Yeah.
It's a freaking quick intro. And interesting things is like the bus that they're on their retreat is
Yeah.
bus 1282. Add up those numbers and you get 13. Ooh, oh my gosh. And then the black guy who works at the warehouse, his name was Isaac. The warehouse that they show is 1921.
Yeah.
Add those up, you get 13. So, oh my
that's
God.
nuts.
And then when they're on the bus, they're watching like channel 180 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So
You
it's
always have
got-
to have a 180.
It's got good stuff everywhere. Let's see. That one has some the spa and acupuncture kill is too long. It's a waste
Yeah,
of time. I'll give
yeah.
you that. But like the wrench is quick and stuff. And
Right.
the gymnast and the eye one, for me,
Oh, the
It's
eye
like a
one.
nail biter. I'm on the edge of
Ooh,
my
I
seat.
forgot
like, oh my
about that eye one. The eye one's really terrifying.
Yeah,
actually.
right. You know, and they don't
Where-
die how you think they're going
Yeah,
to,
where
so
she
they
was
fool
stuck in
you.
there and the eyes all open.
Yes, they fool you because they don't kill
Things
how
going-
you think
What
they're
you
going
think
to.
they're going to.
Like
yeah?
Roy, he comes down and you think that he doesn't, get rammed up his crotch because the hook already got him in the. It was good.
Well, by then that's what they have to do, right? Because
we know.
Because you know it's
Yes.
coming, so they
Right.
have to trick you like
gotta
3
do
or 4
fake
different
out,
times.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's good that
Right?
way.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
did, and that's the first time where they really trick you that much in that
Yeah.
way.
Well, I
true.
respect your decision.
Yep, and it's the
But
best
I
one because
disagree.
it ties everything together so well. No other franchise in history can tie part 1 and part 5 as well
That's
as
That's
they
a good
did.
point.
That's
Yeah.
That
why
is a
it
good point.
belongs as 3 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, I'm next, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is where here I couldn't decide where to put them because at this point the top 3 all had like good and bad qualities. So I had to do a rating system. And then just from adding up the points, I just picked where to put them.
Okay.
So my rating system was based on story, directing, acting, kills, and boobs. So I did like one out of 5 points for each one and added them up. So number 3 is the original Final Destination for me. Part 1 is number 3.
What?
Yep.
What?
Because there's no boobs.
What?
There are in part. No, it's part 2.
No. Okay. So it lost a
Oh,
lot of
there is.
it lost points for not having boobage.
Oh,
It did have boobs because Alex Browning is looking at a penthouse and it shows a girl with boobs.
Yeah, but
It has a boob scene.
okay. I'll give it a point. So
has
let's
no
bump
feet.
it up.
But also, like,
Okay, directed by James Wan. You're getting so angry.
That was awesome.
I got upset. Like, you're talking about divorce here. Then
Okay.
Number 3, the first one.
Okay, well, going up to technicalities, the directing wasn't the best. The acting wasn't the best.
What? Out of this series or out of movies in general? What?
Out of this series, yes.
What is happening?
The score is rad. I like the score in this. This is where they set their theme song. The composer. What? It's number 3. These are still good. Ali Larder welding. That's a cool scene. That's weird.
I was watching it today. I was like, man, is this really needed right now? Holy cow. And that's
Right.
what you're bringing up. That's amazing.
And then this
I
one,
love
it was like, oh, this is a comedy. This isn't a horror anymore. This is a comedy. When he's in the cabin and he's eating the food and he's got gloves on.
We
That's
need
funny.
hilarious. And that was
Yeah.
funny. I loved it. I did
Death
love
by
that part.
tetanus.
There's no
about
boobs
it.
aside from the magazine. I guess I'll give that to you.
Wow.
I had in my notes it reminds me of the movie Pulse, which I like Pulse, but then this felt like it stole some stuff from Pulse. But I have fond memories of seeing this in the theater. I saw it in the theater by myself the first time.
That's awesome.
And I loved it so much that I brought a friend to see it again. And then I enjoyed it again. I took another friend to go see it. So I saw this in the theater 3 times.
So that's why it's number 3.
Yeah. We'll just go with that.
Wow. All right.
But lack of boobs, not the best directing,
Jesus.
not the best acting. So I can tell
All
I
right.
upset the room by making Final Destination my number 3
That's
pick.
fine. And my number
So
3
what's
is
your
number 4.
Your number 3 is number 4? Well, that's just
Yes.
gross.
Why? Because it made
That's gross.
It made me laugh. I enjoy when they make me laugh.
Yeah.
And I actually used to watch quite a bit of NASCAR. I grew up watching NASCAR.
Okay, that makes sense then.
So it was fun to see it at a racetrack because you go to the racetrack and when they do crash into fences, that's actually some scary stuff.
Yeah.
When cars are flying into the fence.
No, it's not. It's not.
It
It is when you're sitting there with
I don't want to see it.
but it made me laugh, so that's why it got a little higher because I was more entertained.
So number 4 is one of your favorites of the.
over because there wasn't as boring. So like
It was super
number
boring.
3
middle
was
of the road.
super boring for me, and number 5 was boring but not as boring as 3. And
Yeah.
this one I laughed, and it just made me giggle and chuckle.
Whatever
and,
makes you laugh.
And these are my notes. Okay, my notes that I wrote was, it's weird putting tampons in your kids' ears.
That was funny.
And it leans into it too. It leans into
I
like
disagree
the
completely.
ridiculous funniness of it.
It doesn't. It's boring.
It does. No, and then I put Hunt's playing golf, Titties Titties is a prick, and everybody play Donkey Punch.
There were titties at least, though.
Those are my
What
notes.
was that from?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to like rethink. I don't.
And then I also put Janet, your head was stuck in a sunroof in a car wash. Why are you so not more on edge?
Yeah.
She was very calm about it. And
That was the lamest. That was
she,
the
like,
lamest.
Your head is stuck. But
I
it
didn't like it.
really just pushed it over because it made me laugh. And like
Wow, it's so boring.
it just
so
didn't
boring.
make me laugh. I don't
Okay,
know.
all right. Okay.
I don't know
Sorry,
what to
it's all right.
I don't
It's
know
all
what
right.
to say.
It's all right. It's not as bad as your favorite Friday the 13th is Jason Goes to Hell. It's not as bad
See,
as
that one also made me laugh when I was entertained from start to finish. So I
Yeah, all right.
don't know what to say.
The boys killed their mother in part 4 because they threw the rock, and that's what ended up killing her. So that's another
Yes.
one where, see?
Yes.
Yeah!
No, you're not gonna.
I don't need to. That's
All right, so number twos. Want to move on to number
Yep.
twos?
Number 2.
Jeremy, what's your second favorite Final Destination flick?
The original,
The
part
OG.
1, is the second best one because it's the original.
Yeah.
Come on. It's got Alex Browning again and Billy Hitchcock. Hitchcock is a last name. It's also got Terry Cheney, who gets hit by the Lon Chaney. Listen to all these freaking things going on. What's his name? The tough guy who dates Terry has his car with the license
Keir
plate
Smith.
RFK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he got shot,
Oh, that's
so,
cool. Yeah.
And did Alex Browning's mom make all this happen? Because he's like, no, leave my freaking sticker on that bag. And she rips it off. And the camera
Oh, yeah.
does it in slow motion because, oh my God, for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
This could have all happened because of that freaking mom.
Because didn't he have
Ripping his
parents that just were stupid, right? He had
Yes.
like parents that didn't believe anything that he
Right.
said.
Yeah.
I
Right.
hate that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had
I
a
do
picture-
hate that too because
Yeah.
like if James
Gotta.
came to me and was like, "Oh," I'd be like, "Okay, it's fine."
You'd at least entertain the notion.
entertain and investigate.
Yeah, right.
It's the only time in this movie where death hides the fact that it had something involved in it because the water comes out when that guy hangs himself
Right.
and then it retreats back. And I don't like that because it should be what it is. And as you know, after that, they never did that again. They never
Yeah.
had death retreat back. But come on, you can't hide from death. It's scary. It's an original movie that's never been done. And it was just it was great that way. And come on, if you're going to end up thinking death is after you, you're
Yeah.
going to act like Alex Browning and do all that.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
great. I loved it. I thought it was good. And you can tell that it's probably had the highest budget and the best production
Yeah.
out of all the movies. So for you to put it number 3, you're putting all these lower class. But hey, I'm going to worry about myself. It doesn't affect me. But I'm still going to throw some
Disagree.
stuff out there.
Disagree.
We're going to disagree. That's right.
But one thing that thinking about the refreshingness of it not having a killer, this came at a time too, in the 90s were ending. It came out in 2000, and you did have the screams and the urban legends where there were killers. So this was a nice refresher.
It was.
It was.
and like
I
around
agree.
the same time. Whatever you think of the personal stuff about it, but Jeepers Creepers came out around then too, so you got like a creature, and then you got Final Destination around the same time, where death. So it was like, okay, we're getting into some different stuff, and it's not just people killing people. But I digress. Good.
Okay. Let me see. I guess I think it's a little bit slower than the others, but it's establishing the entire story, so it
Yeah.
can
Right.
get away with being like that.
Definitely.
And it took place. Their flight is May 13th,
Yeah.
and I like to pretend that May 13th is Friday the 13th. But I looked it up; it
That's fun.
wasn't.
Oh.
But other than that, what it was. John Denver is mentioned, and he's mentioned in part 2 and part 5. It
Yeah,
has lots of
when you-
tie-ins. There's a Nine Inch Nails song coming out of the Kirk guy's car.
Oh,
Nine Inch
yes.
Nails song
Yep.
that says Final Destination.
Yeah.
So I like it when they throw the name of the
re-
movie.
I remember
Yes.
that. That was off the Fragile album.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
getting hit by the bus
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great. I mean, every kill in that movie is good.
Yeah.
Is good. And
I
the
agree
opening
with
is
that.
great, and they're
Yeah.
saying, oh, will God make it go down because there's a baby and a special needs? And it's like, yeah, they're
God's a
getting at
dick.
people,
Yeah, come on.
Ooh. So, yeah, it was great, original, and
Yeah.
because it's the first one, it has to be number 2 for me, yeah.
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 All right.
What about you?
Number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2 is number 2. Hang on, yeah. Number 2 is Final Destination 2. Directed by David R. Ellis, who also
Again.
directed Final Destination 4. So he did it better the first time. He did it better with Final Destination 2.
Yes, he did.
I agree with that.
I think it has some of the best kills in the franchise, some of the most entertaining kills. I like Mickey blowing up at the end by the barbecue was a lot of fun.
Wow, you know his name.
Well, Mickey from a different show, Shameless.
Shameless.
Oh, that's
Noel Fisher's his real
really?
name.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But Baby Mickey, yeah.
Okay.
That stood up. I like. I got his name is escaping me though, but the cop actor, I forget his name, but I really like him. He was in God, what the fuck's his name?
I don't know his name.
Yeah. Anyways, I like him. I think really good directing in this one. There was some good boob stuff. There was a cool motorcycle boob flash. I like that.
It was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. The whole highway death, the opening, the whole main event was really cool.
Okay, it was.
The log and like to this day, I think there's been like memes and stuff like driving on the highway and you see like this is why I'm scared to drive on the freeway because of fucking Final Destination 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I think the thing that I didn't like, the acting was pretty soap opera-y at times, and the pregnancy thing I could have done without.
They have to do something that they've never done in the
Yeah.
other movies, and that was the one, the pregnancy angle.
Yeah.
They do something different in every movie.
They do.
You're criticizing them for being original every time.
But I didn't like it. It was too
That's
soap
all right.
opera-y.
It was, okay.
And then it turned out like to not work, right?
Yeah, I think they were wrong about it.
Yeah. So
but it's to fool us.
it wasn't a thing
Fool.
anyways, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
It was number 2 based off of my point system.
Off of your point
Story
system.
3, directing 4, acting 2, kills 5, boobs 3. So I really liked the kills from this when I did this.
Okay, I would just have to say there was no man butt or man parts in any of this
None.
series.
So when
that
they do-
is disappointing.
when
so
they do more-
when they make more, I'm gonna need
Some dicks.
some dicks or some man butt. I'm just
Yeah.
saying we got to even that playing field out.
I'm
Boobs
fine with
everywhere.
I think
want to
so.
see.
Yeah.
I want to see man parts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
So,
Okay.
moving on. Oh, one more thing.
Oh, one more.
One more before I have Ali Larder in this one. Smoke show. Okay. Continue.
Smoke show.
Okay.
Well, my number 2 is number 1.
Good. We got 2 out of 5 so far.
Yeah, we do.
I'm the odd duck out here.
Yes.
I
It
love
did kick off the whole franchise. It
Mm-hmm.
was something you hadn't seen in a scary movie before,
Ever.
ever. I'm a huge Devon Sawa fan, and in
Yes.
the year 2000, I had I had a bedroom
Just-
with one wall, floor to ceiling, Devon Sawa's face.
Just
So I was like,
just banging that wall every night.
or the Leonardo DiCaprio one was the one next to it. Yeah. Anyways, I love the cast. Just period. I love.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of the it was my favorite cast of the whole thing.
Okay.
I mean, Sawa, of course. Ali Lauder, Keir Smith, what was his other face? Sean William Scott.
Oh yeah, Sean William
Brendan
Scott. Yep.
Fear.
Yeah.
They had such a cool cast.
It was.
I love. My favorite death was the teacher because Death was not fucking playing around with that one. There was vodka on the computer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was fucking fire. There was knives. Like Death went after that bitch hard, and I loved it.
That's awesome.
Right? It was very complicated to get her to die.
It was, but she ended up doing it herself again
She
because she
did.
pulled the
Really?
knives down.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
she did. Yep.
But yeah, and then it was great.
It was
one
a-
is great.
That was such a great. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
my favorite kill.
How did Devon Sawa die in the film or off
No,
screen?
oh, that was okay.
He died in lore.
It's in the newspaper clipping.
Yeah. Okay.
Death by brick.
Yeah.
Off screen, you hear about it in 2.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Also, Ali Lauder's character, I loved. She is I know you don't need to see it, but for an art person like me, I'm like, I want a garage where all that stuff is,
And you're
I
welding?
can just fucking weld and shit.
I know, she just
that
welded.
was
She's like,
awesome.
What do you want?
Yeah.
What's coming for us? Just welding over here.
Right. And 2000s me, I'm like, yes, I love that.
I had Devon Sawa's haircut when I was that age.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if
And-
it's nice, but I had it.
Huh?
With the little flip.
Yeah.
And I did like the comic relief in the cabin, wherein he was like, almost hits a rusty nail, and he's like, "I get you,
I like that too.
death
That's
by
one of my.
tetanus. I see
That's
you."
one of my
like,
favorite parts. I like that. Oh, this is comedic.
It was funny.
Yeah.
And like, of course you're gonna get off a. If I was asleep, if I had a dream that a fucking plane exploded that was so visceral that I was on, you bet your ass I would be off that plane real quick. Be like, it was just a dream. You know how many dreams I have that fuck me up for the whole day?
Yeah.
A lot. If I had one on a plane,
Yeah.
bitch, out. Out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Out.
Gotta.
Yeah.
For sure. So that's my number 2.
All right. Well, I think I know what's happening here now. So,
You're an odd man out.
Number 1, what's your favorite? What's your favorite Final Destination flick?
Number 2, of course.
I
Number 2.
Number 2. It's good.
It's the best one because since they did one, they established a story. So number 2 is just like quick. Let's go. And like you said, everyone is going to remember. The thing about Final Destinations are all the beginnings could actually happen.
Yeah.
They're not that far freaking fetched,
Right.
you know? So, like, after you watch this whole series, if you leave a sock out and in the middle of the night you go to the bathroom and almost slip on the sock, you're like, gee, I could have just killed myself.
Right.
So it really puts the thought in your head.
Yeah.
And 2 has better kills than part 1.
Yes.
In my humble opinion.
I agree completely.
And
Agreed.
they're awesome up a storm, and it's just hitting the creepy old man sniffing her like Joe Biden. That was awesome. That was freaking great.
That.
Yes.
You don't remember the
No.
sniffer in the elevator?
Oh, now I remember
Yes.
it. Yep.
The mom and daughter.
Prosthetics, were there
Yes.
limbs involved?
Hooks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's
Coming
the
back
guy
to me.
who has the rail fall in his eye.
Yeah,
You know, it
that
says
was good.
eye on the fridge, and then
Yeah.
he's walking up with an iMac computer, and he only dies because he threw his own noodles out that way. So that's great. What else about? Oh, 2, it does have the pregnancy, which isn't there. That isn't that great, but it still has something new that none
But
of
like
the
you
other
said, I
movies
mean,
did.
it
you
is
know?
something
Right.
new that throws you for a bit.
Um,
Yeah.
Bloodworth is in it, so that's good. And 2 was just exceptional, and at the end, it ends exceptionally.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that in an aspect too. But number 2 is number 1.
Yeah. So did you miss the presence of Devon Sawa, like, watching it? Like,
Did I miss him?
thinking back to when you first watched these, were you disappointed that, like, he wasn't in it?
I didn't mind. I was happy at least
Yeah.
Allie was.
Yeah.
You know, and I like her better blonde anyway.
Yeah.
So I thought I didn't mind. I wish he probably would have came back because I like that. But,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
well, they didn't want to. He didn't want to. Something happened. Yeah. But,
Cool.
number 2 was just great all the way. Well, the pregnancy is a little slow. But other than that, I mean, every movie has a little...
Yeah.
There's
something
something.
almost,
There's
you
always
know?
something.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel.
All right, what is your number
I'm
1?
gonna catch some shit. My favorite Final Destination is Final Destination 3.
What?
It is.
I gotta just say something that just to let you know, Final Destination 3
Yes.
is the equivalent of Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay.
So you two belong together, all right?
I will take it. Okay,
Wow.
let's just
That
start.
makes me so happy. You have no idea.
You got it. You got me.
I
okay.
did.
Okay, I'm defending it. I love.
All right,
This is
defend
my
it.
favorite. Okay, so it's the same director as the first one.
Yeah, and he got it wrong.
So he got a second chance and he did it better. You could actually, he did different shots that weren't in the series. He did vertigo shots. He did split diopters. And this is the only film that had fucking color. Maybe like 4 had a touch of it, but this one, the whole carnival, you had reds and blues, and I felt it needed it because the whole series is like blue and gray. So there was some color. And this one also had the best boobs of the entire series. And one of my favorite kills is the tanning bed thing, which also goes with the directing because they do a really, really great match cut where you had the up on top shot of the tanning beds, they're on fire, titties are burning, they're like, ah, bah, bah. Match cut to the coffins. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I really liked the photo thing. I thought that was awesome. And then I liked that they were like back in time to like Abraham Lincoln's photos because they went like a back in time thing, like it's happening through time. I liked.
Okay. I'm listening.
I can go with that too.
It was
Alright.
my favorite on-screen duo. Her and him, I think, had the best on-screen chemistry of a couple through the whole series.
They're not a couple.
No, well, just like the on-screen.
Oh, okay.
Like whoever your buddy is, your on-screen partner, the two stars. They had the best chemistry. Okay. I think she does a great job. I'm a fan of hers anyways, but I thought it was really good. I love the roller coaster stuff. I think that's scary to me. That's like a really terrifying thing to shoot off of a roller coaster. I'm not a fan of the ending. It's pretty open-ended.
It's awesome. Everyone dies.
Well, that's probably why you guys don't like it.
3 and 4 end with everyone dying, and that's awesome. I think.
I loved it. I think I have on here like the ending is lackluster. But so in my story 3, directing 5, acting 4, kills 2, boobs 5. Best boobs of the whole series.
Boobs just
and
took
those
it over
brought
the
the
edge.
points in. Like I said, with these three, these three,
Had to be a point
I just
system.
went with a point system and then just ranked them accordingly. So
Okay.
And I like
All
this
right.
is your least favorite.
Yeah.
And this is your like.
Is
This your
also my least
Oh,
favorite.
it's your least favorite
That's
too.
fucking boring.
It's not though. This is like the most engaged I was through all of these movies. Was watching 3.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay, but
It's not.
coming off of 2. Okay. All
Coming
right.
off of 2, this was
All right.
refreshing because 1 and 2 are great, but they're still the same color. The same kind of things are happening, and now in this you have some color. You have roller coasters. You're in a different place, like you said. We're doing something different and similar. And even though Tony Todd wasn't in it, he was. His voice was in it.
His voice was in it.
His voice was in it. He was all over it. And then 3 was kind of where, if all of these are lore, right? Then that means that Tony Todd is a vessel of something because if his voice is everywhere, right?
He said Kimberly's name in Final Destination Part 2.
Did he?
Yeah, well, while she was sleeping, she hears Kimberly, and it's
Yes.
him. So
Yeah,
how does
yeah,
that
yeah.
happen?
Because I
Right.
missed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, no, well, how does it? So
Oh,
he
yeah,
must
yeah.
be.
He must be
something
some
together,
sort
right?
of
Yeah,
tied
yeah.
to
'Cause
death
then he's
in
the
some
voice
way.
of-
But it was like in your face in 3. It's like that's Tony Todd. There's no way that he's not just a person, right? Okay, so that was my favorite. We can move
Okay.
on. Final Destination 3, my favorite of all the Final Destinations. I'm sticking by it. Love it.
Okay, that's
Great-
fine.
great
That's
job.
fine. That's
Great
all
job,
right.
everybody.
Okay. Well, my number 1 is number 2.
Of course.
Yeah,
Because
of course. That's my number 2. It's good. It's great.
I forgot how fucking traumatizing that opening scene was for me.
Extremely.
I don't like driving makes me anxious just in town.
Yeah.
And then that and then on the freeway, forget about it. And then also a family thing, my grandma's brother and wife got ran over by a logging truck and squished.
Happy stuff.
Happy stuff. So like that adds another layer for
Yeah,
me,
of
and
course,
so like I
yeah.
watched it, like I hadn't watched it forever, and I watched it again. I was like,
Damn.
"Fuck, this is trauma. This is why."
Yeah.
God damn, it does. It
Yeah.
traumatized a whole goddamn generation of people. When they get
It
on the
did,
freeway,
yeah.
your first thought is fucking Final Destination.
It-
You
it-
see a logging
yeah.
truck, son of a bitch.
It has to be like at least 10% of the reason why I don't hop on freeways as often.
And then, so for me, coming off of that one where I was like, fucking Christ. And then you go into 3 and I'm like, I'm not as traumatized. I wasn't
It's the
I was
best film in the whole franchise.
No, I was so traumatized from 2 and then you give me 3 which was boring.
It wasn't. It was entertaining
my-
as hell
in
all
my-
the way through. It was like you're on a roller coaster ride of entertainment all the way. And you're like, boobs kills, boobs kills, boobs kills.
Those
All
are the
right.
worst boobs of the franchise because they were like ultraviolet and blue. They weren't even skin color. They
Retro
weren't even, and
boobs.
you know what? And I don't know. And
Flaming
they were
boobs.
laying flat, so they were like barely boobs. You know, at least the girl banging in part 4, those were hot boobs. The girl on the motorcycle, hot boobs.
yes.
But laying down in ultraviolet light, oh man, their feet look
But
better
they
than their
became
boobs.
actually hot
I was
boobs.
going to say technically they were hot
They
boobs.
did. They did. All right. I just had to throw it out there too.
Oh, boy.
And one of the most traumatizing deaths is the kid.
Yeah.
But as a mother,
Oh.
if I had to watch my fucking kid just get squished, but
yeah.
First of all, done, out, I'm out.
Oh, too. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm out. I'm not gonna survive. Like, no.
Oh, I forgot about that whole plot line because then she was just cruising around just like with her kid dead.
Yeah, well, she was
Yeah.
taking Xanax,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
like not caring.
Yeah.
But which one was it where Oh, it was in 4. Sorry, just real quick. On 4, one of my other things was
4. We're going back to the best
one of them was like, I've been trying to kill myself all day and I can't do it
That was fun.
because I wasn't in.
Yeah.
It was fun when they did it in part 2. It wasn't that cool when they revisited
Oh,
it in
in
part
part
4
4.
because
Yeah.
remember, and you know what's crazy too? It was both black dudes. The one
Really?
in part 2, yeah, because remember he did 6 shots and the cop's like, ooh, not likely. And then
Right.
it was
That's
the
really
AA
weird.
guy who tried to
Yeah.
hang himself and do the car
Right.
inhalation. And so it's like, yeah, they did it in part 2, but then they revisited it. Didn't
In
need
4.
to. Didn't
Right.
need to. We already
Yeah.
saw it.
Right.
Huh.
But so just for all of those reasons.
Yeah.
And I did like that Allie came back, but I was disappointed that you got his brief, the little clip of, he died via
Yeah.
a brick falling on his head.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely agree that Final Destination 2 is one of the best of the series. It's my number 2. It's your guys'
Yeah.
number
Right.
1.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's close. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
But not as good as 3.
and then one of my notes was, don't lick your fingers for strangers. I don't know what that means.
Don't lick your fingers for strangers.
I don't know what that means.
Kids, don't lick your fingers for strangers.
Ever.
Well,
Get to know him first.
yeah. What does everybody think of everybody's rankings?
Well, Tammy's got it pretty right.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jeremy are like
Yeah.
pretty on track.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But here's the deal, too. For me,
Yeah.
I'm watching it as a movie watcher.
Right.
Mm.
You're watching
Watching
it
it.
as a filmmaker.
Well,
and seeing it
part of
a
it.
little,
Yeah.
I think you think maybe more than I do. And I will say about 3.
Yeah.
For me, the best part of 3 is when Mary Elizabeth is on her computer and her sister wants to borrow her camera. And they show Mary up close and they show
Yeah,
her sister
that-
in the doorway.
that's one of
Is
the-
that the vertigo thing you're talking
the
about?
split diopter thing.
That was awesome. And other
yeah.
than that, I didn't notice anything redeeming
Yeah.
other than that one shot.
And because I'm not
Watching.
anywhere in filmmaking, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that means. So
But also, if I remove myself from that too, it was a fun time. I liked it. And also, I like carnivals and stuff and fairs. Was it a
Yes.
fair or was it a carnival? What,
it was a
the
school
theme
carnival.
Park?
I think School Carnival was
think
McKinley,
it
and this
was-
was a real carnival.
Was this a
maybe?
theme park?
Maybe
Like a
like an almost theme park, right?
Yeah.
It's probably one that vanishes
Yes.
every
What,
weekend.
and it was Halloween, right? Because there was scary stuff. Because you had like death. They go into the death ride.
No, I think that was
No?
just part of
It was
the
just part of the whole thing?
the
Yeah.
the deal.
Okay,
Yeah. I
yeah.
think you have to have a death ride if
Yeah.
you're on Final
If you're doing a
Destination.
Final Destination, yeah.
But to be fair, they're all fun
They are.
and
Mm-mm.
oh,
They're
race
not all
car-
fun. They're not
They
all
are
fun.
all fun.
No,
I will
I-
defend. Hunter gets his inside sucked out of the pool because he's a tool bag.
There's some fun moments.
on.
There's some fun moments in 4, but I wouldn't say that movie is overall fun. I didn't have fun watching it, and
I
I
had
wouldn't
fun
watch it again unless I had to do an a-thon again for another reason. But yeah, I feel like the odd duck out here, and that's okay. I like it. It's good when we don't agree on everything.
It
and we
is.
disagree. It's nice. Yeah. For some reason, I thought you were gonna put like 5 at number 1 because I remember you saying that it was like one of your favorites.
Oh no, I was just saying that Final Destination 5.
Yeah.
Some people may find this as blasphemy.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, Jordan, Final Destination 5.
Jordan.
blows away Saw 5. So maybe that's what I was talking about.
Oh, well,
Well, I don't know if we gotta go that
First
far.
of all of the saws are shit from 2 on, and don't get me started.
For the most part, but
Spiral.
anyways,
I will never watch that series again.
so let's talk about. So it's already in the works. They're making another Final Destination film, and there's been rumors about who's involved, who isn't, what the plot's going to be, what it's not going to be. What do you, since it's happening, what do you want to see?
I want it to be not called Final Destination because this is a perfect 5-film situation, and we don't need another Final Destination because they're going to ruin it. Every franchise has been ruined
Yes.
to me except Friday the 13th and Scream.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like Saw, like why do we
Texas
need another?
Chainsaw's okay.
Yeah.
Why do we need another Saw? We don't. You just make money, and that's what I feel like Final Destination. They just
Yeah.
want to make
Yes.
some money.
Well, yeah, I mean it is about money. They make money.
I know, but like,
Just don't call
you're-
it.
It's a circle. You're right. It all comes complete circle. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And put it in the middle and be like, oh, before 4, I was in the fucking stands. Like, no.
Well, I heard a rumor that it was going to be like ambulance workers. Like
yeah.
it's set like with like the premise of ambulance drivers, EMTs. But I don't know. I think, I don't know what I want to say. Well, maybe we can get into it.
If they do it,
Yes.
then it just needs to be its own
Yes.
deal.
Its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't want it to call back any of the others. Because it is a circle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, start your
Yeah.
own Final Destination 1 and start a story from there on. If you're going to make more after that, then have those their own little... Like, yes, it's still death because fucking death is scary and it's after you. And maybe have Tony Todd's voice, sure. But also, I don't want to know anything else about the others. I want it to just
Something new.
start over.
Yeah.
Just start over if you're gonna do that. I don't want you to like try to make it fit into the perfect circle that
Cram
they've
it in
created.
there. Yeah. I agree with that. I think it should be separate. But if someone came to me and said, make a Final Destination film, the one thing that I thought when watching these, I think Tony Todd's character is really interesting. I would make a prequel about how he became who he was. I think that would be fun. I think it would be really cool. Like, you could even go way back, because you could go into the 70s and just show him somehow becoming Death's right-hand man, like unwillingly. Or maybe like he wanted to, but I think that's an interesting thing to explore, for sure.
I'll go with it. I could watch that.
Yeah,
totally.
is
I
he
think that
Death's
would be
right hand
fun.
man? Did he actually survive?
But you can go when he's younger. You have younger actors. You do something kind of different from it, and maybe you don't even know it's a Final Destination film until the end, and then you like morph into you like figure it out towards a third act, and then you get Tony Todd actually to come in, and then you can like. Your ending could be it's him starting like another Final Destination fucking journey or whatever it is. I think that would be fun. That's what I do. But I know it's not what they're gonna do.
It's not, and you know what? Because your idea is so good, that's why they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because of it, I don't.
Someone do it. Hey, get fund me. I'll make it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'll make the movie.
We'll get Tony Todd. We will. Somehow, right?
Yeah.
We could. We can definitely get Tony Todd. He'd be down for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tony, if you're listening, let us know.
Or go the other route. Start now with Tony Todd and just see what he's doing now. Make it that'd
That
be
as
cool.
well, yeah.
Make him your main character, be it evil or good.
They can make it great.
Yeah.
They could.
Yeah.
But don't try to squeeze him in to make it work with what you have now.
Okay, so what do you think of the overarching theme and reasons why this is happening to this circle, right? If this is a circle, is it just happening in this big circle, or is this happening in other
circles.
pockets in the world through time, or is it just this group? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it would have to be all over the place, probably.
Yeah.
Right? How can it just be in one? Well, they proved it because it's in New York and Pennsylvania.
Yeah. You're true.
So-
and then the photos from back in time. So this is something that's constant.
That has been happening,
Yeah.
So, but why does death give them a premonition? Everyone gets a premonition.
But is it death giving them a premonition? So like what I guess that's like what do you think? Why do you think there's always someone who knows in a group of people?
There doesn't have to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Does there? I don't know. Well, we don't have a movie then.
You're right. So like, why
There's
are they?
no movie.
So who's giving them premonitions? Because if it could be death, and death is just a super dick, and it's like, this is gonna happen.
That's
just
pretty fun.
joking.
I like that, yeah.
Now I'm
Death is
gonna
bored.
have you. Yeah,
Yep.
if he's
Having
bored
some
and
fun.
like having some fun. Now I'm
Sprinkling,
gonna have you
sprinkling.
on your toes. Am I gonna kill you now? Am I gonna kill you now?
Yeah.
Am I gonna kill you now? You know. So.
But then you have Tony Todd jumping in saying that like it's a design and it's a like I can't tell what his character is trying to do. Is it trying to warn? Is it trying to, or is he just existing?
I don't know, because they'll say new life will save death and da-da-da. So he tries to give hints, but I don't even know if it's true or not.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Right,
Yeah.
because in 2, the baby thing, but then also she died and then he brought her back to life.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
how they escaped the loop. And then little Mickey died. Right?
Has everyone?
Or they didn't.
The way that I take it is the cop saved the main character girl, because her 3
Right.
friends died. He saved her. And then, since that other guy saved the kid was supposed to die, and I would say the main girl took his life. So it could end that way.
Okay, has anyone survived this? Has everyone did they all die, like, eventually, off screen?
No, the only survivors are the cop and the girl. At
Yeah,
the end of
and
part
number 2.
So the only 2, and they weren't mentioned ever again?
Never again.
Huh. So those are the only 2 that got away.
Yes, because she died and he brought her back to life.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, Final Destination movies.
Yes.
Oh, and one other thing too
Yeah.
is since I've watched it a couple of times since we talked about doing this.
Yeah.
If you watch Final Destination 5
Yeah.
first, and then watch
that's
Final
gotta be fun.
Destination 1,
Yeah.
and then 2, guess what? They're all Mount Abraham, and they finish the story. And then 3 and 4 are offshoots. They know about Mount Abraham, but Mount Abraham doesn't know about McKinley.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and
Okay.
Final Destination is always about the survivors, right?
Yeah.
So in part 5, they die in the plane, but you see Alex getting off of it and everything. So the next movie is about the survivors. So in Final Destination 5, it's about the survivors of the retreat, whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's also about, the next movie is about the survivors of Flight 180. And you can have a perfect trilogy if you watch 5, 1, and 2.
Let's edit them together.
Ooh.
Someone edit
And
those,
if-
we'll watch them.
It's great, but then if you have 3 and 4, it does make a perfect circle as well. But I like to look at Final Destination 5 as the very first one because there's no mention of 180 yet or anything.
Right,
You know,
none of
it's
that is.
Miro 81
Yeah.
or whatever. So if you watch it that way,
Yeah.
then 3 and 4 are utter garbage because they don't even belong in the same. They're not
No.
even in the same town or state.
4 is garbage.
You know what I'm saying?
3 is 3. If you're gonna watch a Final Destination film, just watch 3 and then tap out.
That is
Don't
so
listen
wrong.
to him at all.
Wow.
Don't ever do that.
At least
Don't
in
ever.
this time.
No.
Well, does anyone have anything else to, like, last notes on Final Destination series of the films?
Sean William Scott was in all of them except part 3.
Wait,
How?
what?
He was in part 1.
Yeah.
Right.
And then in number 2, they show his picture on a computer.
Oh.
And then in number 4, they show his killing in the beginning sequence of the movie of his head. And then in 5, they show him
Him-
dying because they
Yeah.
show everyone's death.
Right.
And 5 had AC/DC song at the end, which was awesome. They also had AC/DC
That
in
was
part
cool.
2.
Yeah.
But so Sean William Scott is in all of them but 3.
Yeah.
That's,
even notice
you know why?
that.
Because he's so cool.
He
and he
is
wasn't
cool.
typecast yet as a prick.
That's right.
I know.
He was the sweet
Yeah.
guy in the
Yes,
bike.
he was.
He wasn't Stifler yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, how about that? And then watch the trilogy as 5, 1, and 2.
Just watch
You
3.
won't see it the same way. Oh my gosh. Listen to that. That's good.
You can watch 3 after you watch all the others first, and then 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any last notes on Final Destination flicks?
No, it was just
Yeah.
it's a fun franchise. I hope they don't try to ruin it like
Yeah.
Saw.
Yeah, I just hope they make something good. They probably won't, but I hope they
They
do.
probably won't.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you guys loved the, Halloween, so it may surprise you.
It may surprise.
Who
'cause I was
knows?
pleasantly
You know?
surprised.
Yeah.
So I guess before we go, Jeremy, do you have anything you want to plug? Businesses, projects, anything like that?
Gosh, I guess for the people in Spokane, Washington, check out Spokane Super Tattoo at 9303 North Division, 509-979-0554. My Instagram at Jeremy Youngman, 1Y. My YouTube, whatever it is. I'm sure he'll put a link at the
Yep.
whatever
Yes.
of this.
Links.
And that's it. Tattoos and VHS collecting.
Yeah,
And that's it. I don't
think
do
I got
much,
like
really.
five
Yeah,
or
we
so
got-
tattoos from him.
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
I got one.
and more coming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would also just like to rep our merch. I'm wearing our Bloody
Yes.
Mary podcast t-shirt.
Yep, check
you
that
can
out.
get on. Just go ahead and go to bloodymary.com.
BloodyMaryPodcast.com, and
Yes.
you can get it. So, well, Jeremy, thanks for being here.
Thank you guys
Talking
for
about
having
the Final
me.
Destination
it
flicks
was
is fun.
good and great.
I
and had a
love
good time.
that we have different views on this. So I guess our Bloody Marys are pretty much dead.
And so are we.
Yeah, drink in moderation, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you later.